back with another one. This right here is going to be some Black Light News reaction. Another mass shooting. People acting like they mad or they going to do something if someone says something about this Charlie Kirk influencer who somehow has government ties and gets a honorable military death. Anyways, bury I meant to say, or flag raising. I said that to say this: we still having mass shootings, we still having unalivings, we still having issues in this community that are not being talked about, let alone revealing the Epstein files. But say that to say this: this is going on in Colorado. Another animal. These people.
Breaking news at noon, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office just finished a news conference. They shared a picture and the name of the student who shot 2 other students at Evergreen High School yesterday. Investigators say 16-year-old Desmond Hawley went through the school looking for targets, but lockdown procedures kept him from getting through.
He came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank God I didn't get to them. Whatever procedures they got, we need even more. Back in my day, we had hurricane procedures or fire detections. Now they got mass shooters. This is what needs to be talked about. These firearms, these children are walking into places, lighting shit up, always being overlooked. Common denominator. What's up with these numbers or these mass shootings and public shootings and all these things like that? Where are the parents? Right here. You know, what is the ideology? What is the psychology going on?
At noon, I'm Akelia White. We want to give you a quick breakdown. There's a lot of new information the Sheriff's Office just shared with us. Investigators say 16-year-old Desmond Hawley seemed to have been, quote, on that. We know that he brought quite a bit of ammo, continued to reload a revolver handgun.
An extremist network. One was out there in Colorado. Militias. Extremely far right militias.
Take shots inside the school. The Sheriff's Office says Hawley eventually took his own life. We're also learning more about the 2.
I think that dude that clipped what's his face? He was one of those types also radicalized. These radicalized white males. It's been an issue on this continent. I want to say going on 700 years. The better side of a millennium, we've had this problem. And they want to bring out statistics that don't show convictions.
Victims. Children's Hospital tells us they are treating 1 student. The other victim is still at St. Anthony's in Lakewood, and they were also critically hurt. Law enforcement has not identified either of those victims. Your reporter Justin Adams is live at Evergreen High School, where that update from law enforcement just happened. Justin, we heard you asking questions, and there are still plenty of questions that the community has about all of this.
Yeah, one of the questions that has been answered is that this crime scene doesn't only go at the school, but also behind the school, which is where one of the suspects was also hit in the incident from yesterday. As we told you earlier, look at your screen. This is the suspect, which was 16-year-old Desmond Hawley.
One of the suspects?
A student of Evergreen High School. Now, this student was on a bus when he arrived.
Let's pray for my daughter, man. She in middle school now.
To school yesterday. He had a handgun and fired it multiple times and reloaded it several times in order to fire again. Jefferson County officer says that he was allegedly a part of an extremist network, and there still hasn't been a motive that has been found at.
They definitely not let that network out, is they?
This moment.
The suspect's gun was fired a lot. The reason we have so many crime scene areas inside is because we have windows shot out. We have lockers that were shot up. We're finding spent rounds, unspent rounds. So it's a huge area. And the school, I was told, is 3 levels. So lots of work to be done. But he fired multiple times.
Now, for students looking to be able to pick up their vehicles, they can do so today. They will have to go to Bergen Meadows Elementary School. They will have to have their keys with them. If they do not have their keys, or if their keys was left inside of the school or inside of the car, they will not be able to get on the bus to go to Evergreen High School, in order to pick up their car. They could be able to do so until 4:45 today. And also at this moment, it is not known until when this high school will be open yet again. So this is one of those investigation scenes that will continue on, and we'll keep you updated right here on CBS News Colorado. In Evergreen, your reporter Justin Adams, covering Colorado First.
Justin, thank you for being out there getting answers for us. We appreciate you. As a result of the Evergreen school shooting, more than 10 campuses in Evergreen and Conifer closed today.
Shout out to the wonderful newscast. Excellent work, guys.
Evergreen High School will be closed at least through tomorrow. Now, if you need resources, you can get them today at Bergen Meadow Elementary.
In other news, we're going to check out this update on the Delta State unaliving of this black man from Grenada.
Believe it or not, baby.
Eric with a good edge.
At University
Jackson's break.
All he wanted to do was work, get a good job, take care of his family. Let's see this update, man.
Breaking news leader. 16 WAPT begins with breaking news.
We do have breaking news this morning. Delta State leaders are addressing the recent hanging death of a student. Let's go ahead and listen in what we know about this case.
It was discovered, has stirred many emotions in this community and many emotions around the state and the nation. While the preliminary report of the Bolivar County Coroner's Office indicates no evidence of foul play, we recognize that this is not only about facts. It's about emotions and it's about feelings. And the way this loss and how it was discovered affects people's lives. And I'll further say that I admit that I am not adequate to speak to the imagery that this incident raises. I acknowledge my weakness in that regard.
A Caribbean man, right? Strong-willed people. A Caribbean man from Grenada, right? I think Malcolm X has some lineage there. Hung himself on campus as an act of self-deletion is crazy.
The second point I'd like to make before I turn it over to law enforcement is that the university and I personally have been in regular, frequent contact with next of kin. And I'll say, for those of you who are not used to how universities work, I'll take a moment to explain. When a student comes to this university, or almost any university in America, they fill out a contact form. This applies to Trey Reed and applies to every other student at Delta State. The student chooses who to indicate is their personal contact. The student tells us their next of kin. And from the moment we discovered this, and from the moment law enforcement was engaged, 7:30 in the morning on Monday, this university has been in regular, frequent contact with the next of kin. Now we'll go ahead and acknowledge that the student always chooses their next of kin. Trey Reed gave us 2 names and the contact information for the people he wanted to be contacted in the event of emergency. And we have maintained contact with those 2 people. And I know this may seem like some kind of legalistic distinction, but this is how we have to operate. This is a choice made by the student, and a choice made by the student has to be respected even when the student's no longer with us.
What is he talking about?
And I also acknowledge that there is a distinction between next of kin and family. And I acknowledge that both next of kin and family are grieving. But from the point of view of doing this correctly and right and respecting the students' wishes, the university has been and will continue to be in direct contact with Trey's chosen names. And those individuals, they can choose to do what they will with the information and the communication we give them. So I ask everyone to please be respectful in the sense that this was a choice the student made, And the university is respecting his choice. He told us who he wanted us.
He gonna keep saying his choice, his choice. Okay. Now, one thing is true: suicide rates have gone up with Black males in the community. That is true. But this right here, just something fishy. Whenever do they ever respect the deceased wish, who should get information and things like that? These things are disseminated. What happened with the Ukrainian chick that allegedly got stabbed? They just put that information all out.
To talk to in the event of an emergency, and that's what we continue to do. And I can go ahead and say that I recognize that there is family, and some family are not the names that Trey gave us. I'm so sorry. We are sharing all the information we can, and we will continue to work through the people that this student chose when he put his name on that form and he said, who do you want the university to contact in the event of emergency? And that's the kind of protocol that almost every university in America would follow. And if we do not follow that protocol, I don't think we're being respectful to the choice the student made. In other matters, I will go ahead and say that university continues to completely cooperate with multiple law enforcement agencies represented behind me. And that in every request regarding information, regarding evidence, regarding anything connected with this incident, we have been fully forthcoming and will continue to be so. And lastly, I want to say that we have to think about our losses and we have to think about our current students. So we are simultaneously grieving, we are simultaneously processing, and I think every minute about Trey. But I also have to think about my 2,800 other students and protect them as well. In that regard, we've been very grateful that we have had increased law enforcement presence on this campus. And unfortunately, that's because this campus has received threats. And my message to that regard would be,
I wonder who threatened that campus, huh? So the same people that's threatening the HBCUs, talking about unaliving Black people, that's talking about Charlie Kirk. I wonder what the family had to say. Shout out to the family. Not a shout out as in being happy, but a shout out saying that I am deeply, deeply sorry this happened. Either way it happened, it shouldn't have happened like this. May Allah forgive him his shortcomings. Amen.
we have students here. They came here to get an education. And folks who threaten the institution are hurting the students. And we don't want that. We're supposed to be a place where students come to feel safe and to learn. That's our mission, and that's what we'll continue to do. With that, I will turn this over to Chief Bueller, who will address the investigation. Thank you.
Good morning. Delta State University Police continues to mourn the tragic loss of Trey Reed. Our hearts remain with his family, friends, and all who are affected during this deeply painful time.
No funny shit, but he looked like Vaughn off 1700 Uncle Daddy right there. Y'all know the new Vaughn, the weird one that looked like him.
Following the discovery of the deceased on campus on Monday morning, and the release of Bolivar County Coroner's official statement, his body has been transported to the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. The Chief Medical Examiner began conducting a full autopsy this morning. Preliminary results are expected to be available within the next 24 to 48 hours. This joint investigation remains active, and the Delta State.
If they say they found no foul play, first the white man says, and now the brother says it's an ongoing investigation, and then all the information isn't even out on the autopsy, is insane. Pay attention.
The University Police is in full cooperation with all agencies involved. This is an isolated incident. Due to the support of the state and local law enforcement and the increased law enforcement presence here at Delta State, there are currently no active threats to the campus, and the university remains a safe environment.
Did the dean or whoever the hell that cave monkey was? Did he just say that they was getting threats though? What's going on here? Or was this a part of the investigation you got to hide?
For students, faculty, and staff. Delta State Police, in conjunction with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, Bolivar County Sheriff's Office, and Cleveland Police Department, plans to provide another update once preliminary findings are released and the university officials have met privately with the next of kin. Out of respect for those grieving, we ask for continued patience and compassion as this investigation proceeds. Again, we extend our deepest condolences to those impacted by this tragedy. Support services remain available for anyone in need of assistance. And again, this deeply saddens us. He's one of ours. And so our hearts.
I don't know if that was like a nervous grin or grieving grin, an insidious grin. I don't know what that was, Von 1700, Uncle Daddy.
Go out. We mourn as well.
Yo, well, he looked like Vaughn, son. Well, he. Shit. On the Dead Prophets, he looked like Vaughn of 1700.
At this time, are there any questions?
Chief, Martin Scott from Fox 13 News in Memphis. First question that comes out is, how was the statement foul play has been ruled out so soon when you just said a preliminary coroner's report hasn't even been released?
Thank you for your question. Again, the statement was initially, at this point, we didn't believe or have evidence of foul play.
What?
This
That was a statement?
game, you're not ready for it.
Hey, yo, run that back and let me see. Hey, yo, tell me what that white dude said in the beginning.
Ross Adams, 16 WAPT at Jackson. You talk about in the initial report about a no foul play. Did you personally put your eyes on the student's body and how can you make a determination by making a physical observation without having any knowledge about what happened to that person's body?
Well, with the combined effort of Delta.
Go ahead and lie, Vaughn. Look like McGruff, the crime Negro.
State Police, Cleveland PD, Bolivar County Sheriff's Office. Yes, did we lay?
Oh, yeah, he definitely got some nervous. Yeah. Hold up, let me talk to y'all. The way he talking, he definitely got a nervous itch going on. White dude talking about this, no foul play. First thing you hear about this is no foul play. Mind you, I used to be a CNN News affiliate back in the day. You feel me? Your wording is very important. All right. This is before I got teeth pulled. I ain't had this lisp. Your wording is extremely important. What you choose to disseminate and how it's viewed is very important. And everything's done for a reason. They playing with us. They playing on my afro. Well, Lord, this shit ain't right.
Eyes on the student. I did. I was there.
They saying that because we done tore up the world for allegedly someone ODing on fentanyl, right? Right? After a neck press was on them, right? Imagine this. Not that anything gonna happen because this isn't the most isolated lynching. This has been happening within the new millennium quite often. Will y'all believe us? No, America, how good you be to me? Head ass.
First on the scene. And again, it's an ongoing investigation.
But you're asking my question and you're including all these different agencies. I'm asking about you, the head of the Florida State.
Again, I was there. I was the second officer.
You was talking about, again, You keep bringing up all these agencies and all the metaverse Facebook friends you got. Come on, Volnov 1700, Uncle Daddy. You playing with us. Now you getting agitated. How you getting mad because you not giving out no motherfucking answers?
From my department on the scene.
Yesterday,
And you still didn't answer. How did you look at it? How would you know without anything for you to say? How? That was not answered. Milk Dud hear that?
Trey's grandfather said that the first call he received, the officer told him that Trey was found in his room. But then the next call he received, and I'm quoting him, they said he hung himself. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of any calls.
Police do be lying. I remember when my cousin, my stepmother's nephew, Sean Bell, was murdered by detectives in an unmarked vehicle at his bachelor's party. Apparently, it was the wrong place. I remember my stepmother crying on the phone. I actually had a vision. She was crying. I woke up and it was nighttime. And then later on, it came true. But yeah, she was like, he's dead. They shot him. He's dead. Sean is dead. They said that he put his hand in his pocket, like as if he had like a traffic stop or something like that, and pulled something out. And they said that's how they be lying. They be lying. I don't know if it's for the investigation or just them blowing smoke up people's nyash and things like that.
The grandfather received. I know I did speak to the grandfather for the next of kin, and outside of that, I can't answer what calls he received and who he received it from.
Chief, do any videos exist? There have been reports of alleged videos.
There are videos, and they're in the hands of the investigative team. Right now, Cleveland PD is leading the investigation. This is our investigation, but they're leading in the investigation.
So there was surveillance video that captured what happened to Trey on campus at the time of his death?
I can't speak at that at this moment. Again, there is video, but it's still, the investigation is ongoing.
Is there surveillance video that would have captured what happened in that area where his body was found in the phone books?
And again, there's video out there, and we can't speak to that at this moment. It's still an ongoing investigation.
Can you talk about the threats that were made to campus that the university president alluded to?
Just the fact that, again, emotions are arising, people are calling, and I don't have a specific threat yet, but again, the threats may be phone calls that staff and students are receiving, but specific threats, I don't have those yet.
Could we get President Ennis to address those specific threats, because you talked about the increased law enforcement, and can you tell us the nature of the threats that have been received?
So we will defer to law enforcement regarding whether these threats are credible. Right now, the law enforcement behind me and those joining with Delta.
Damn, he's still putting things on everyone else instead of asking a straight up question. This is more bulto right here.
State have declared the campus remains safe. I don't need to point you all to people on social media saying things about this campus, some of which sound threatening. We hope that they would stop entirely. Law enforcement will determine if anybody is really a credible threat to the campus. They can run down names. They can figure out if someone is simply being a troll online or whether there's somebody who might actually.
What was the threats? Honky is definitely the white folks. That's definitely who it must be. Why you not saying shit about it? Are these extremist groups, such as the one that reeled in Colorado boy that offed himself?
Take action. At this point, we don't have any credible threats that I'm aware of, and law enforcement will let me know. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when someone calls the office and says that this is a terrible place and that people should be hurt. And I hope that that's just empty threats, but offices' phones are ringing. And unfortunately, and I'll go ahead and say this, like many universities, our phones are manned mostly by student workers. So can you imagine a student worker, 19-year-old sophomore, who's got a part-time job answering an office phone, a totally normal thing on a college campus, picks up the phone and someone uses profanity and says something that implies violence. So we have had to change our whole protocol regarding answering the phone, and the same for online posts. And looking the balance between free speech, people can of course get online and say what they want, and protecting our students and faculty and staff. So I reiterate what the chief said. Our law enforcement experts are following every lead, and they're analyzing every post and every phone call to see if there's a credible threat.
Sir, Martin Staunton, Fox 13 Memphis. In the current climate, in the dismantling of DEI programs across the country on college and university campuses, how would you describe the state of race relations here at Delta State?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base for
in the student body.
One of the things I love about Delta State is that it's what America should be. I've got 40% African American students, and they eat and play and work and learn beside white people. And yeah, there's always tensions on every college campus. There's always disagreements. I was in the gym the other night playing pickup basketball. I know it's hard to imagine, but and the pickup basketball just happened to be 3 white guys, one of which was me, and 3 black guys, and that was not remarkable. That was not unusual on this campus. I'm not saying this is heaven, but I'm saying I can walk into my cafeteria right now and see black people and white people eating together. I walk into my classroom on Tuesday morning, and I didn't count heads, but my classroom looked like America. And so I can't speak to the hearts of how individual students are reacting to this. I can say that my heartbreak is comprehensive, not just for Trey, although it is primarily for Trey, but for the fact that the rest of the world has an impression of Delta State that is so at odds with what I know to be this institution. This institution should not be associated with hate or hate crimes. If people knew this place, they look at it and say, wouldn't it be better if America was more like Delta State University? And we'll continue to be that in our little community, and the rest of the world will not know the joy and the grace of people living and working together and respecting each other. I'm not going to speak to a larger issue, DEI. I'll say we should live in a world where we don't need anything but decency and respect. And I feel that at this place, or I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's enough of hearing this bullshit. I was on the phone real quick, but y'all can see what's going on. There's actually there's a lot of red flags, a lot of blue flags, a lot of purple flags. Oh, it's a light. But yeah, I don't think DEI. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, man. It's crazy out here in the field. You got to tell the ones you love them. You may say peace and blessings of Allah be upon them. Really mean that. You got to mean that ish. Keep them du'as. Them du'as be working. The same me, my pops used to say, them du'as be working. Them du'as be working out. Du'as be working. But yeah, man. Yeah, tighten up. Islam is the only way. We're called Bani Adam. We're not called no other nations. We call Bani Adam. The children of Adam. Beautifully put. You and we out.